Good morning, good evening, good nights. Good morning, Jay-Z. Good evening, Path Towards Millionaire. We almost didn't have sound today. But we do, thankfully. So as you know, gold has been dropping quite a bit, which is no surprise because of all the positive news coming out from after Trump was officially elected as the president. He hasn't even been sworn in yet. He hasn't even been sworn into office. And the markets have already been changing and adjusting to him coming back. That should show you a lot. You know what, elder brother? I'm setting from 25, 39, 25. Damn, it went all the way down there. With the way gold has been going, oh, right. Today was PPI. Should have been up earlier. Oopsies. So the next news is at 10:30. Market opens in 9 minutes. No news effect. Yeah, sort of. This is going on from 8:30, which was all the way over here. So if you look, from 8:30. Here's the news. So that PPI stuff, you're right, didn't really have much of an effect. That's kind of a red flag, but it's hovering around yesterday's close price. So I think it might come up here and then drop down. But let's see. $1,000. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations. Soon you'll be able to book a flight to Canada. Yes, sir. With me. I'm hoping we'll stay there and we'll taste best food in Canada. The best food in Canada is international food. So what makes Canadian food great is that it's not Canadian. If that makes sense. What makes the food great, make Canadian food great again. What makes it great is different cultures. There's really no such thing as good Canadian food. So it's like looking for good Ethiopian food, Italian food, Greek food, Colombian food, Chilean food, Peruvian food, whatever. This is gonna sound funny, but what are those voices? What are those voices? What did he say? I don't know. I'm not trusting that. What day is it? I don't even know what day it is anymore. It's Thursday? It's not Thursday. Oh my god, it's Thursday. This year flew by. The way gold has been moving, it's no surprise. On our lives a few weeks back, we were talking about this, even in our group chat, how it will drop down to these levels. When? I don't know. But here we are. These are just imaginary lines. They mean nothing to anybody except me. Remember, just because you draw lines on a chart doesn't mean that the chart has, that the market has to follow it. Yes, you can use trend lines as part of your strategy. Yes, you can use indicators if you want. I'm not a fan of indicators. You can use RSI if you want. MACD, all that stuff. Moving averages. Let's see what happens today. Market opened a few minutes ago. And nothing. What if I say I don't use anything mean to be indicator? If you don't use anything, that's great. You use what, the SK system? Retracement patterns and all that? Why are you not energetic today? Is that coffee? It could be that. This week I've just been off, to be honest. I've had a lot going on. I want the year to be over, if I had to be honest with you. No SMC ICT. Oh yeah, the ICT. Forgot. My bad. Sorry about that. So sorry. New computer coming soon. Soon, don't worry, it's coming. Where'd my window go? Everything just crashed out of nowhere? Of course. Yeah, if the coffee doesn't hit me, I'll make another manly coffee. Good idea. Like my mom would say, good idea, Maria. Good idea, Maria. With Trump now about to be sworn in, well, he's not about to be, but he will be in January. He has said a lot of things, and he hasn't even been sworn in yet, and it's shaking up the world, even for Canada, and basically put Canada on the spot. I didn't know this. So, like, when a country is part of NATO, their agreement there, their group, they all contribute to NATO. So it's like a gang, right? If somebody attacks you, then we all come defend you because we all pay to this. But I didn't know that they all had to have part of their GDP be in like military defense. I didn't know that they all had like a quota that they had to fulfill, sort of thing. And Canada has not been paying their part. Canada's supposed to be like $2 billion or something like that, and they've been behind. And Trump is very big on not wanting to be part of NATO unless NATO gets all the other nations to pay their part, because the US actually pays more than 50% of NATO. So the US, so that explains partially why the US is always out in everybody's business defending everybody, and no one is really out there. So the US is out there playing Big Brother, but it's because they pay the most and nobody is paying anything. So it's like they're paying their debt, sort of thing, and everybody else is like kind of like sitting back and enjoying the free ride. So he's basically saying, if you are not up to date to any country and someone attacks you, you're on your own. So the Prime Minister here, or Canada, is asking, because we're neighbors, would you defend us if something were to happen? He said no. He said no. Pay your bill, pay your debt. Which sucks for Canada if we were to get attacked. But he's right. And he even said, if you're being attacked, he said, if you're being attacked by another country, I would encourage the other country because you didn't pay your bill. And that's a gutsy thing to say. It's like saying, if you want us, like, if you can't hold your own, then pay your bill. It's almost like encouraging an enemy, like, hey, if you want to go attack Canada, go ahead. Indirectly, it's like what he's saying. It's like your enemy. Someone telling your enemy, hey, they're weak right now, and I'm not going to defend them. So if you attack them, I'm going to encourage you to attack them because they didn't pay their bill. So Canada is trying to meet their quota, which they were supposed to meet by this year, and they're not going to make it. And they're saying they are on track to meet that quota by like 2032. But that quota is supposed to be met this year. And we're almost at the end of the year. And I'm not surprised, because who we have in the seats right now here in Canada has been prioritizing other things to fill his own pockets. No government official is perfect, but This place is a mess. I don't know if you guys knew that about NATO. I didn't know that. I just found that out last night. I thought that was interesting. On many fronts. I thought it was interesting to know how much the US is paying into it and how little other countries are. Okay, let's check this out. While we wait to see if a trade happens or not, we had a loss yesterday. An official losing day. It wasn't just a losing trade in a winning day. It was a losing day. Sucks, but it is what it is. Let's see the picture. I want to see the picture. It's so funny. The visual representation is what we're after. Well, that's what I'm after. There it is. So look at this. This is as of what year? Based on current prices, exchange rates, figures represents estimates, source. So this is as of July 2023. This is as of last year, July. Damn, it's like frying my computer. So look, Canada is this amount, 29. So the US, so this is North America, I guess you could say, Canada, US. So Canada and US, really just say the US. Oh, that's what's slowing it down. This video. New computer coming soon. The US is more than half of the contribution, 860 billion. The US by themselves is more than all of these countries combined, including Canada. So Canada and all of these countries combined isn't even as much as the US. So 1.3 trillion out of 1.3 trillion dollars in defense spending, out of 1.3 trillion, 860 billion is the US as of July 2023. So that means there's 440 billion approximately shared amongst all these countries. What, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19 countries. These 19 other countries, including Canada. 9 countries, 440 billion. versus one country, 860 billion. If I were Trump, I wouldn't even bother. Like, what do I need them for? So I never knew that stuff. So it's interesting if you think about what this means for all of these countries, including Canada. It means they're going to have to spend on defense. So they're going to have to start producing and manufacturing more things for their military. That's precious metals, more engineering, more science, more, for sure, more AI. So it's kind of like igniting the economies worldwide. Because where are they going to get their weapons from? Chances are from the US. Because that's where everybody gets their back to school shopping. So if he's encouraging all of them, you better, if you don't improve your spending, you can go defend yourself, which you clearly can't do, and you need us to defend you. So increase your spending, which is increase your defense. But where are they going to get their equipment to defend themselves? A good portion of it will probably be from the US. So if they're going to be getting their stuff from the US, then not only does that improve the US economy, but it improves their value, increases their value with NATO. That's smart. That is smart. That is smart business. That's like saying, I have what you want and I don't need you. So me defending you is what you want, and I don't need you to defend me. So if you want me to defend you, you need to do what I say. And by doing what I say, you're going to buy from me also, which gives me more incentive to protect you. That is awesome. Smart. Leaves us vulnerable, so sucks for us, but you got to give credit where it's due. Game is game. Game is game. Give credit where it's due. Will we even have a trade today? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. News in 8 minutes. Another thing with that, if, because like my mind is firing on all cylinders with that topic. If while he's in office, he helps he helps to stop all these wars or create more peace, which is already starting to happen. We'll see how it goes, right? Let's be optimistic about it. It creates no demand for war. So if nobody's fighting, they don't need weapons. So he's going to chokehold them into, hey, if you want this peace, then keep up the spending. So he's going to make them buy weapons and improve defense at a time when they don't need it, which is really the way you should do it. Right? You don't want to be attacked and then now start investing in your defense or military. You want to have a military and improve your defense and be prepared for an attack before an attack happens. Just like investing. You don't want to wait for Bitcoin to hit an all-time high to then start buying Bitcoin. You want to wait for when the market is low, when things are calm, to start collecting Bitcoin. So when things go crazy, you're prepared. So if he's going to push, let's think like investors. If he's going to push countries to improve their defense, which companies on the stock market will benefit from that? So this is where we can start to look at which countries buy weapons from the US, what manufacturers are they, which ones use what AI chips, what computers, what technologies, what supplies. I know that there are government contract websites where you can actually see government contracts, because you can actually bid on military contracts, even Canadian military contracts. I would imagine it's similar with other countries. I know Canada and US has that. So if I'm, I don't know, making supplies for, I don't even know what, for sure weapons, that's obvious. I don't know, goggles or something, sleeping bags, who knows what. I could bid on those contracts to try to get it. That's why there's so much money in the military, and that's why trillions of dollars go missing. And it's like a pen for an office is like $1,000. A chair is like $20,000, because not a lot of people know about these contracts. And let's say I have a relative or friend or business associate that is on some board in the military. He'll say, hey, position your company for this contract, you'll get it, and charge us whatever you want. This is the budget. We need office supplies like this. This is our max budget. Go nuts. Just make sure you deliver what we're asking for and enjoy the rest. So they start to bill crazy amounts because they have to spend the money. Which is the fault of how corporate works too. Because if you have a budget of spending for the year, it's weird how it works. So as a business, and this will apply to what we're talking about, if I have a budget of, let's just say $10,000 for this month for marketing. Okay, let's say. Then that's my budget. I have $10,000. If you would think if I go under that budget, in other words, I save money, that's good. And it is for the company. We saved money for the company and we were able to produce marketing and maybe even outperform. With less money, we were able to gain more clients and more business. So less money, more business. That is good. But then on the books, it shows, okay, so you don't need $10,000. You actually only need 8. So the next month, as an example, or the next year, you're not going to have $10,000 for the month. Let's just say the next month. You're not going to have $10,000. You don't need it. You're going to have 8. And then you're going to say, wait. No, like, you can't just give me 8. I need the 10. No, you don't. You showed us you can do this with 8. You don't need 10. We're going to allocate the $2,000 to another department. So now you have to think differently, where it's like, I need to spend the $10,000, even though I only need 8. So what do? You use the 8 as a smart person, knowing that like you got to make sure that you keep that $10,000. You're going to spend what you need. Like in the military contract example, you're going to buy all the furniture or whatever supplies that you need. And then whatever's left over, so you don't ruin your own budget for next time, you're going to spend it or kind of whatever. Give incentives, right? If it's like a sales team, that $2,000 difference, if you can't, as a manager, if you can't put it in your pocket like a bonus, you give it to your team in incentives. Here's an Amazon gift card for those that perform the most, or employee of the month. Take everybody out for drinks. Let's celebrate. We had a good month. This is the plan for next year. Or we're doing a customer appreciation day. The news just dropped 1 minute ago. 1 minute and 10 seconds ago. On the opposite end, if your budget is 10,000 and you go up, let's say to 12,000, now that looks bad because you're costing more for the company and you went over budget. So it doesn't look good, and then you're going to be penalized for going more because now you're pushing the expenses. It could go one way or another where they start to give you more, but you have to show that now you have to demonstrate that you needed the extra 2 to perform because you needed you weren't getting the results, or by putting in an extra $2,000 you were able to increase and boost productivity by whatever amount. But regardless, the next month it goes back to the $10,000 because they're not going to just automatically increase your budget just because you went over, because they have shareholders and board members and stuff that they have to answer to. So it's almost like a one-sided thing, right? If you go down, they'll take it away. If you go up, then you get penalized. Today, the markets suck. Oh, news is at 10:30. My bad. I thought it was at 10. Why didn't you tell me? How dare you not tell me? Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin, oh Bitcoin. To Miss Rosanna Rose, I was saying the other day, I could see Bitcoin going to, what was it? I think I said either 90 to 94 or 92 to 94. And look, here's 94. I said I could see it going to, it was either 90 or 92. I think it was 92 to 94,000 before it takes a pullback. Here's 94. And this is when it was like 89, 90,000. So look at that. Boom, within that range. Pull back. Look at all that liquidity. Ay caramba. Bitcoin could possibly, crypto moves a little different, could possibly have quite a big correction. And I say could possibly because crypto moves different. It doesn't move with the same patterns as stock market and stuff. Because there's so many projects and things happening and hype and pumps and dumps and all that. And with the fact that Trump is now going to be president and he's pro crypto. Anytime he spits the word crypto out of his mouth, crypto Bitcoin, and then Elon Musk talking about the new Department of Government expense or whatever it's called, acronyms for Doge. Though anytime you see them, either of them two speak something positive about the US, it can pump up Bitcoin and crypto. If Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up. It's the granddaddy of everything. Yes, Bitcoin. Oh, that's how I'm confused. What's going on here? How long ago was this? Was this from last week? Oh, I think it was yesterday's. Yeah, I think it was yesterday's. Because that was a loss. Yeah. Yeah. Broke our trend line. Closed below. Kept moving. Remember when I said, I'm out? Closed below? Yeah, this was yesterday's. Department of Government Efficiency. Yes. What's crazy to think about with everything that's going on is the way that they went after Trump was a witch hunt. Just call it for what it is. They clearly had it out for him. Whether you like him or not, and it's okay if you don't like him. It's okay if you're a Democrat. That's fine if you're a Democrat. But there's no way you can tell me that the people that were in office were a good fit. Even if you don't like Trump, for that party, I think they can do better in terms of having officials to represent those parties. I think those were not a good fit. Like I've said before, I personally wasn't a fan of Obama or Bush. I wasn't a fan, but they were, much better representatives of those parties. I don't have to like what they did, but they were way better representatives of that party. So if you're not a fan of Trump, that's okay. If you're not a Republican, that's okay. But you can't tell me that that was your best. Either of those two. All right, so putting that aside, it was clearly a witch hunt against Trump. And it's always been kind of a witch hunt with Elon. Like he's always in the spotlight, controversial, whatever. So if they thought it was a witch hunt for them, like for Trump, imagine what he's going to do now to clean up the house. Because if I'm not mistaken, if he's trying to clean up the country for future generations and to maintain things, he'll probably do investigations on everybody. Because then it's like, well, you guys investigated me, right? And I came out clean and I'm in president's seat. Let's put you under the microscope. Oh, well, Elon bought Twitter and uncovered that there was like FBI and CIA again, allegedly, I don't know for sure, don't be canceling me, that there was like some kind of intervention or conversation or something to do with them being involved in like screening or filtering posts and whatever, some kind of involvement. So he uncovered that and he started to be like, I don't need you guys' money, just like Trump. And he fired most of the Twitter company because he's like, we don't need this many people doing nothing. And there was all these bots, and he started to expose everything. So if he did that there, and they kept coming after him and like threatening him indirectly. Even the SEC themselves kept trying to like take him down even before he had Tesla. So they've been attacking him. Even with SpaceX, they were coming after him for saying like, oh, you need to hire more like residents or like people with temporary visas or something. And he's like, but I can't do that because they have to be a citizen. Like that would be against the guidelines that we have, because then it's like against national defense, national security, because like this is military grade kind of stuff happening here. We're talking about rockets. So how am I going to let someone that's not a Canadian citizen, American citizen, come and work here when they can then go back to their country and take our secrets back to the enemy? So they've been after him also. So to put him under the microscope, and now both of them are going to be put in those positions. Exactly. Everybody's going to get investigated. And it never made the national news. So if it never made the national news, because you're in the US, you're in Wisconsin, think about that. I don't know how much you've seen, right? I don't know how much you've seen, how much you know, because even that, most of what I'm sharing, I also didn't see in the news. The only things that I've seen in the news was them attacking Elon along the way, or them attacking Trump along the way. But a lot of the other side of the story came out of Donald Trump's mouth and Elon's mouth being interviewed personally on the spot. And that's like on podcasts and stuff, because when they try to talk about it on a mainstream channel, they change the subject and they don't let them talk about those things to defend their part of like why they were being attacked. So if that's what we're learning, so they clearly attack them and overhype on the mainstream how much they're a bad person and how they're being attacked. But then when they defend themselves and totally void what they were being attacked for, in other words, clarify, like, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. This is what actually happened, and here's the proof of what happened. You can't just say that that's not true. Here's the proof that it's not true. Then the mainstream just stays quiet and doesn't say anything about it, because the louder they are, the more people believe them. So going back to things, imagine, because even the president of El Salvador did this. If they decide to say, okay, we don't need so many officials, and the ones that are here, let's investigate you guys. Let's make sure our country, I'm not American, but like speaking first person as if I was them. Let's make sure that our country doesn't have corrupt officials, which clearly they do. Every country does. So imagine how many people get exposed. And this could be a double-edged sword, because who knows what dirty laundry both sides have. Because you can't just play like, well, I'm going to go investigate that side, even though that's what they were doing. But it's like, clean the house, and then set new laws to make it harder for next time. Because if there is still a USA after this, hopefully there is, obviously, he's going to do his best, I would assume he's going to do his best to put new laws and legislations, whatever, to ensure if anyone ever tries to manipulate the US again, or like to corrupt it the way that they did, it's going to be harder. News in 11 minutes. I just want that scalp. That Dr. Xavier scalp. Will we make up for yesterday? Will we succeed this week? Will we succeed in the Future Aces Creed? And it never made national news. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. Very interesting. News in 8 minutes. Totally random, because here on my vision board, I've always had a thing for Bentleys. I love the Bentley Continental GT. But at this point, I have like, model replicas and pictures. I went to the dealership. I got their brochure, catalog, whatever. I cut it up. The brochure itself was probably worth like $500 or something, because it was a heavy catalog. Like, what it cost to print my book was probably peanuts. I kid you not, in comparison to their catalog, whatever. The pages were super thick. So the pages were like really thick paper. The print, like the picture print on it, was all full color. It was almost like a storybook. It's crazy. Whatever. I took it home and I cut it up, put it on my vision board. So I've always enjoyed Bentleys, but I've enjoyed them for so long that now the models, like the new body style, as nice as it is, it's not what it was. It's kind of like Ford Mustangs. There was a bit of an era where it's like, I don't want to see these stupid cars. The classic Mustangs, always top notch. The newer ones now, better. But there was that like mid in between from like some part in the 90s to like early 2000s, where it was like blah. And I think for me, because I've been looking at the Bentley body style for so long, it's starting to get like that for me. I still like it. Obviously I wouldn't turn it down. But for some reason, I'm starting to like the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. And I'm not an SUV kind of guy. I'm not a luxury SUV kind of guy at all. And yes, the Phantom and the Wraith, very nice cars. I wouldn't mind having one of those. But something about the Cullinan, and it's kind of like in the same price range as the Bentley. Something about it, it's kind of badass. Something about it says gentleman, clean gentleman cartel vibes. So, is the price, news in 4 minutes, is the price going to reject off of yesterday's close price, which is this purple line? I don't know if you can see it. It's right here behind this red line, which clearly it's showing it's doing that. Or will it come up to our trend line / sell zone? Let's see what happens. If we have any reaction to news. Could totally bounce off here. I would still stick to where I am. I would rather touch, it's going to sound weird, I'd rather touch the end of the liquidity instead of become the liquidity, if that makes sense. It sounds weird, okay? But look, on the 4 hour, this whole wick, that's pretty much liquidity right here. So I'd rather wait to touch the back part here. I know it sounds weird. Instead of getting in early and possibly, get in an avalanche. Gotta choose my words carefully. And it never made the national news. Don't tell me. Oh my God. right off of yesterday's close price. Go to hell. There. Now you can see it. Now you can see it better. Well, hopefully you can. Let's make it more predominant. Them some fancy words you got there, kid. That is yesterday's close price. News just dropped. Let's see how she goes. Oh, let me put this for you guys. Will today be the day? Will we redeem ourselves? This is what we're looking for. We're looking for a bearish move. You know what I didn't do? Was record my stories. That's what I didn't do. All right, let's see what happens. Patience is the most difficult part. Patience and discipline. Overcome those two and you'll be profitable. And of course, risk management. So those three. Let me turn this down before I get a copyright strike. Put a little wizard. Wizard Blizzard. What's my name? Where's the pictures? Frames, avatar. Is that the end? I think that was the end. Yes. No. Yes. What is this? Right off of yesterday's trend line, close price. Oh my god. If we don't take a trade, we don't take a trade. Call it for what it is. I always found it interesting how a lot of great actors and actresses that you see in like American films, a lot of like really good ones, are actually British. So it's weird. You see someone like Christian Bale or Tom Holland, and then you hear them talk their actual talk, and it's like, that's you? Like, good for you. Good for you, dude, but oh, we played it too safe this morning. I got scared because of yesterday. Psychology beat me today. Because I had seen this. I'll show you what I saw earlier. From there to here. So I was looking at that range. I saw that and I thought, no. I want to play it safe. What if it totally pushes up for more liquidity? I'd rather keep my zone up here, which it could still very well hit like afterwards. It could still happen in the next 5 minutes. But I was looking for a quick scalp, which could have been here. $25.69. But if this is what I set out, I gotta stick to it. Can't FOMO now. Because you know what'll happen, right? If you jump in now, it'll totally reverse because we're in it. That's just how the conspiracy of trading and investing works. If you want the market to go up, put a sell. And if you want the market to go down, put a buy. Because it will always do the opposite of whatever you're in. It's not over till the fat lady sings. So I have 19 minutes. Damn, 1371. We're so close to being monetized. It's not even funny. We're so close. We are so close. By the end, how many days are left in the month? 15 more days. Can make it happen. I don't know if we can make it happen by the end of the month, but I would like to make it happen by the end of the year. To be monetized with shorts, not like clothing shorts, YouTube shorts, you got to have some popular reels, because you need to have 10 million view hours with shorts, which makes sense because they're like shorter clips. So in other words, they're saying you got to go viral. You got to have lots of viral shorts. With regular video long form content, you have to have 4,000 view hours, which makes sense. Still quite a bit. 4,000 hours of view time is quite a bit. Which means you got to have popular long form content. So I got to work on those again. Got to pump those numbers up, pal. You better get those numbers going. probably make some crypto videos. I'll probably make some crypto videos to help give some insight and education on the topic, so people don't fall for nonsense. That's what I was doing in the past. Every time I hear this song, it reminds me of Pokemon on Game Boy. Man, those were good times. I had Pokemon Blue. I didn't even know. I remember, because Pokemon obviously was new. I think it was 1997. 7, 8, 9. It's 9 years old. I was grade 4, 3, 4. Yeah, it's grade 4. Grade 4, 9 years old, 1997. And we were collecting Pokemon cards. It was still fresh. Like the show had just come out not long ago. And this girl in my class was playing Game Boy. And I was like, what is that? Like, not what is Game Boy, because I had Game Boy since 1991. I was like 3 years old. Got it for Christmas. I was 4 years old. It's 4 years old. So it was like 92. And she was playing a game on Game Boy, and it looked different. Like, it was a different style. I was like, what are you playing? Because the game cartridge was red. Because all the game cartridges were just gray. And hers was red. It's like, what is that? I've never seen a red game before. The game itself looks weird. Like, it's different. She said it's Pokemon. Pokemon Red. There's red and blue. What's the difference? Well, there's 150 Pokemon, as we all knew. And Pokemon Red has one half of the Pokemon. And Pokemon Blue has the other half of the Pokemon. So you have to catch them all in your game. And then you can connect two Game Boys. And with a cable, of course. And you can trade Pokemon to each other so that both of you can collect them all. So you need to have each other to collect them all. It's like, oh, cool. Somehow, I was able to convince my dad to get me the game. I think I had to trade in some games or something. And when I went to go get it, I thought, okay, I'll get Pokemon Blue, because it doesn't make sense for me to get the same one as her. I don't know anybody else with Pokemon. So I'll get Pokemon Blue. So at least I know somebody that I could trade with. I could help her, she could help me. So I got Pokemon Blue. Even though Charizard was my favorite. "12 minutes. I remember walking through the flea market, because on the weekends, this mall nearby would turn into a flea market, or like a local market. And I was always collecting hockey cards and stuff, because that was the thing to do back then, because that was passed down from my parents' generation. the boomers, collecting hockey cards and baseball cards and all that stuff. So I was collecting hockey cards, not knowing really anything about hockey. I only knew Wayne Gretzky. I only knew like names, but I didn't know their stats or anything about them. I just knew that these are the popular ones, right? So we'd go to the flea market on the weekends and look at cards. My dad didn't give a crap about cards. He just knew that, you know, collecting cards can be profitable if you get the right ones. My kid is, this is how I interpret it, my kid is into them, so maybe he'll develop something from it. Either that or develop some kind of syndrome. Who knows? So going to the flea market was nothing new, but now there's Pokemon cards in the mix. And I remember seeing a holographic Charizard, because my friend got one in one of the packs. I got a Venusaur holographic, I remember. Straight into a protective case. But I wanted a Charizard. And at the flea market, there was a Charizard. It's on display in the case and the whatever. And it was $50, which was a lot. And as a kid, I'm like, it's only $50. The hell do I know as a kid, right? Remember, this is early 90s. Minimum wage was probably like 5 cents. I don't know. I think it was like $6 an hour or something like that. $5 or $6 an hour. I don't know, because obviously I was too young to work. Minimum wage Toronto 1998. So I'll look this up. 95. $1974. What the hell is this? Don't worry. I know where my story is at. Relax. Chill. $95. So in 1995, minimum wage here in Ontario was $6.85. So let's just say 96, 97. Let's just say it was 1998, a year after. It was probably $7, between $7 and $7.50, somewhere around there. Oh no, it was the same. $6.85. $6.85. So this card was worth more than 5 hours of work. Okay, so 50 divided by 6.85. This card was worth almost 7.5 hours of work before taxes. It's almost a day's pay. And I remember asking my dad or saying to him, I want that card. It's a Charizard. Me knowing at the time, because at the time it was still like the most popular card, Charizard. But I didn't want it because it was popular. I wanted it because that was my favorite Pokemon, because it's a dragon, shoots out fire. And I like that. I like dragons. I like fire. Pyromaniac. And he's like, $50 for a card. No. I get it. He didn't know what I knew about cards. And that was I knew more about Pokemon cards and hockey cards because I was actually into it. So I knew that it was a valuable card, but I didn't want it because it was a valuable card. I wanted it because it was my favorite Pokemon. And it just so happened to be the most valuable card. But imagine if he had bought it. I know I gave away my Pokemon card collection, but I wouldn't have given away Charizard because it's still a favorite Pokemon to this day. So I would have kept it. And that $50 card would be worth easily over 100 grand. Thanks to the Paul brothers. 6 minutes. And we either walk away with 0 and 1 loss for the week so far, or we see what happens. That's my story with Pokemon cards. Man, the nostalgia of going to comic book stores and seeing the packs on the counter. I think it was like $5 or $8 for the pack, something like that. I wonder if you can find the cost. $4,547. Let's see. I remember seeing, actually, random story, on TikTok, and I recorded. I happened to screen record it. This guy had some of the original Pokemon card packs from the 90s. And the original packs unopened are worth, I think a pack alone is like $10,000 or $20,000 unopened. And I screen recorded. He decided to open it live on TikTok. And I screen recorded it. He had like 2 or 3 packs. And I screen recorded him opening these packs. And he got scammed. Yeah. He got scammed because it's not uncommon for people to open these packs, take out the valuable cards, and replace it obviously with like less valuable cards. Obviously. So they do that and then sell it, and then they reseal it to look like it's unopened, and then sell it for thousands of dollars. Because the idea is, if I buy it unopened, I don't want to open it. So I'll never see what's inside, and by the time I do, it's like it's too late. So pretty good scam if you think about it. Not my style, but pretty clever. It's like buying a VCR with a phone booth inside. So he opened each pack. It was 2 or 3. I screen recorded all of it. It's like 10 minutes. They were all scams. My dad had a Tom Brady rookie card from 2000 upper deck, serial numbered 1225. A number match. He sold it in 2008 for $2,500 when Brady blew out his knee. It is now $1 million card. Oh man. And I thought my story was bad. Man, I feel for your dad, man. I feel for that. It's one of those situations where you hope, I know it sounds horrible, where you hope that the person you gave or sold the card to left it in the washing machine. Because it's like, F you, buddy. F you taking that. Even though they bought it or got it fair and square. Yeah, I know. Okay, whatever. Think positive and wish everybody the best. Their blessings, their good decision, good. They held it. Right time, right place. Sure. But I want my Venusaur that I gave to that stupid kid. So this kid is holding, if he still has my Venusaur that I gave him, it's over a $12,000 card. And we were old enough where we understood the value of keeping cards pristine. So when we'd open our packs, we'd have the plastic and the hard plastic sleeves ready. So if it came out of the pack and it was a good card, it went straight into the thin plastic and then the hard plastic. And when we put it in the binders, we'd put it in the thin plastic and then in the binder. So it was like double protected. So I know my Venusaur was mint condition. So I hope that kid put it in the washing machine. But man, I feel for your dad, man. So let your dad know that I hope that guy put it in the washing machine. So that if your dad didn't get the millions, nobody got it. No, actually, that's bad karma. That's bad karma. I hope, let's phrase it this way. I hope whatever blessings your dad deserved, he got. And whatever blessings that person deserved, they got. And if they happen to need to learn a lesson of putting the card in the washing machine, then I hope they learn their lesson, whatever lesson that may have been. And if that wasn't the lesson they needed to learn, then I hope it didn't happen. So whatever lessons they were destined to learn, positive or negative, I hope they got it. Let's see how the hour closed. Maybe I'll wait. I don't know. I don't know about this one, Charlie. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'm going to wait till 11:10. So another 8 minutes. When I think about hockey cards from the 90s, like collecting in the 90s, all I remember is my dad and my uncle, everyone that they brought me to, like all of their friends that collected hockey cards, they were always alcoholics and smokers, heavy smokers, and single. I think those are connected. I don't remember a single one of those people that collected hockey cards having a wife or a girlfriend. Like, I don't remember a female being present. I remember my uncle's friend that lived down the street from my grandma's place. I went with my dad and him, and my dad and my uncle, to that guy's place. My dad and my uncle were probably buying special medicine from him. I'm just guessing. They were probably buying special basil leaves, recreational basil leaves, probably. Because if I remember the setup, it would make sense. Because the guy clearly lived by himself, and the place was a mess. But this guy had boxes and boxes and stacks of cards. Like, if this guy was an ant building an ant hill, he was building an ant hill out of cards. Okay? So he was like a card ant. Not a carpenter ant, a card ant. And again, clearly a smoker and a drinker because there was beer. And I remember he'd like give me cards. Probably worthless cards. But I don't remember any female being present. And I don't think any female would have wanted to be present in that place. I didn't see drugs. At least, what would I have known what that was back then? It's low tier gambling if you think about it. You're absolutely right. It's pretty much like NFTs. It's pretty much like NFTs, except a little bit better than NFTs. And the only reason why I say a little bit better, because I agree with you, it's low tier gambling. Because if you buy a pack of cards and they're worthless, and I mean worthless, just like most NFTs, you're stuck with it. With an NFT, if it's worthless, it's just like having a picture on your desktop. You can't sell it. You can give it away. But it's like it doesn't even exist. Like, who cares? It's like having a picture on your phone. It only means something to you. If you have cards, I have some here actually. This isn't all of them. I have some here in an old dusty metal tin. These I just have loose in here, and that's how I got these. But the rest of them I have some in a box and then some like in a binder with sleeves. These are baseball cards. But let's say with the physical cards, if this is only worth, let's say, 50 cents on eBay, at least it's worth something. But who's going to buy it? No one. No one's going to buy a 50-cent card. But at least I have a physical card that I can like look at and hold. So something about the fact that it's tangible and worthless is better than digital and worthless. So it absolutely is low tier gambling, because I'm gambling on a pack and hoping that Brian Fisher 54 from Pirates, is that even still a team? That, what year was this? Look, from 1980 to 87. So I'm betting that hopefully this guy becomes famous, or he starts a George Foreman grill kind of company. What I'm probably better off doing with my cards at this point is spend a month, because I have a lot. I have a lot of basketball cards, hockey cards. I think I have some football cards, and of course hockey cards. Spend a month and like document and scan them all and do like a bulk sale, because I know some are worth 25 cents, some are 50 cents, some are $1, $2, some are maybe $5. I probably have a few like valuable ones that are worth something. If they're not worth anything now, I don't think they're going to be worth that much more. Like, if some of these cards from the 80s and 90s are still only worth under $5 in 2025, I think it's pretty safe to say that they're at the end of their life. Because it's not like these players are getting any better, because for sure they're retired by now. And it's not like the sport is expanding into new territories or anything like that. Like wrestling is expanding more than baseball is. It went from WWF to WWE, obviously for legal reasons. They took over, the WCW. Then they sold off AEW, and like now they're bigger than ever. Vince McMahon is now gone, and they're bringing people back. So if you had like I don't think it exists, but as an example, if you had a Hulk Hogan rookie card, the guy's still around doing things and whatever. So if you have something from his prime, that would make sense that that's worth more than whatever the heck that guy was. Pokemon cards, I should have known better, because they were still making more Pokemon, making more episodes. They went from 150 to like, I don't even know what they're at now. 1 million Pokemon. So, whatever. Random stories of the day. I remember I knew this person, speaking of collecting. My cousin's friend. My cousin's friend had in their basement, their dad collected toys, but Star Wars toys. So he was like a Star Wars nut. Say it's Star Wars, and I think he had Star Trek also. I'm not sure about the Star Trek, but Star Wars I know for sure. He was a Star Wars nut. And his basement was full of like every Star Wars toy that came out, like original. Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Vader, Chewie, Han Solo, everything in the packs and all that stuff. All over the place. So I could only imagine what his basement is worth. Could you imagine if his basement was in Miami and it got flooded? I don't know who would be crying more, him or the insurance company. When I have kids, this is something that I've thought about, seeing that stuff growing up. Old toys that I had becoming collectibles. Like the Tonka trucks that I had as a kid, they were actual metal trucks. Now kids are so soft, they can't get hurt, so you gotta give them plastic trucks. So I remember seeing toys from my parents' childhood become like crazy collectibles, and toys that I had growing up become collectibles. Like my sister had the first wave of Furbies, and we had Tamagotchi. I had Stretch Armstrong, the first wave of Stretch Armstrong. I broke it. So when I have kids, what I would like to do is whatever toys I buy them, buy 2 of them and put it away. Because if you have, here's how I look at it. If 1 or 2 of those toys become crazy collectibles, then it pays for it. Then it pays for the whole thing. So it's almost like you're investing and making your money back, because you're going to spend money on toys for your kids, obviously. Unless you're some communist, like you're going to want to obviously do that. So if you're going to do it, why not buy duplicates? There is some guy, I think he's here in Canada or US, doesn't matter which are the two. He buys Lego sets. So like, let's say if right now Spider-Man comes out, he'll buy a bunch of Spider-Man sets, Lego sets, Star Wars sets, whatever, that come out like for the holidays, and he'll just buy them in bulk. And he'll not literally sit on them, but he will stash them away. Because after about a year, you can't get those sets anymore. They come out with new sets and all that stuff, so those become now hard to get. And they're desirable because they're movie related, they were limited edition, whatever. So within 1 to 2 years, they've already gone up in value. So he'll buy like multiple of the same set. And he has stockpiles. He has stockpiles of these sets. So he'll start to sell them after about a year or 2. So it's a pretty good hustle, because today he's buying sets that he's going to sell in 2 years, let's say. But he's also selling today sets from 2 years ago. So like, let's say today he buys, just say $500 worth of Lego sets. Today he buys $500 worth of Lego sets. But this $500 that he's spending on Lego sets is from $200 and $250 that he used 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, he bought $250 worth of Lego sets. It increased in value, so it doubled. And today he's selling them for double the price. Now he has $500. He goes out and he buys $500 worth of Lego sets, so that this worth becomes $1,000 in 2 years, and so on and so on. And he cycles it that way. Same thing with Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels has its own niche and its own has its own audience. There's like a way to tell which ones are more rare than the others, and like different styles of Hot Wheels. But you're absolutely right with Hot Wheels. I actually have a few here. I don't know. So with Hot Wheels, I'm not going to get into like learning which one is what, whatever. So I just bought some that mean something to me. So I have 3, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 Hot Wheels on my wall. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are Batmobiles, different Batmobiles. One is like a money car, so it's like, you know, for money. One is a special edition Canadian Tire pickup truck. To Americans, that means nothing. It's Canadian Tire is like a local. Think of it like a Canadian version of Walmart. Best way to give it an example. So it's totally worthless globally, but it's a Hot Wheel made for that company. It's like, imagine if they made a CVS or a Target pickup truck in a Hot Wheel. Kind of the same concept. And they came out with it when I was working there when I was 17. So obviously I took it. And then I have 2 Rick and Morty Hot Wheels. One is Rick's spaceship, and the other is a van, a Volkswagen van. Volkswagen Rick and Morty van. What do they do in the van? I don't know. Not gonna find out. But yeah, with Hot Wheels, same thing. On my desk here, I actually have the this Batmobile. It's totally worthless. It's all scratched up and beat up. I remember like sanding it down and trying to paint it with permanent black marker. This is worthless. But not to me. Because this is my Batmobile from when I was a kid. It's my Batmobile from when I was a kid and my Batman action figure from when I was a kid. I want to close the live, but we're like right there. Okay. 11:30. Hit or miss, we're out. We're out of here. Cool. If you guys leave the live, I won't get offended. No, I'm like past the usual time. We've been here for like 2.5 hours now. Clearly I want a trade to happen. Especially because the first day, Monday was a bank holiday, so we didn't trade. Good thing we didn't, because it was a total wreck. Second day, my stuff here wasn't loading my software wasn't loading the live stream. Then Wednesday, our first day back, was a loss. So we only have 2 trading days left, today and tomorrow. So I would like to have a trade. Aw, thanks, Bailey. You'll stay with me. Thanks, Bailey. So, no bones about it. I'm telling you straight up, the moment it hits aggressive, I'm in. And if it hits modest, I'm in. Because we don't have like a crazy candle shooting up. We're right there. So, I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. Manage your trade accordingly. Remember, there's a delay with what I'm saying and what you see on the screen. So make sure you have it marked out on your chart. Okay, so make sure you have it marked out on your chart. Should have marked it out on this one. I didn't mean to mark it out with this FXIDC. But whatever, we're here now. from here, 72, 67. And that would have been a nice scalp. It's too bad we didn't catch this scalp. Could have been long gone by now. But for those that held that trade, they are crying now. They are wishing they were us. Like Austin Powers. Women wanted him and men wanted to be him. Remember what I said? If it hits aggressive, I'm in. Don't get too anxious and jump in early. If we miss it, we miss it. The discipline, following your discipline and your plan is worth more than chasing profits. I know this sounds weird, but it means more for your trading journey. For you to wait for your entry and have it totally miss you and you accept it. So you walk away with nothing. That is more valuable. That's more valuable than you trying to enter early so that you don't miss out and you walk away with profits. Like, let's say you enter early and you're right that you entered early and then you walk away with profits. You caught however many pips. Even if you caught 1,000 pips from there, good for you. On the profitable side, good for you. But for your trading journey, that was actually more detrimental to your trading journey than waiting and allowing it to miss and you accepting that. So take that into consideration. Let's see how it looks on the 1 minute. Okay. Seems might be promising. I don't know. I don't read Spanish. And remember, we're looking for a scalp. In secure 30 or whatever your plan is. If I can walk away with 30, I'm happy. Don't tell me it's just like the yesterday's close price. If it totally misses us from here, I'm gonna have to start a fight with somebody on the way to the gym. It's your fault. It's your fault that I didn't enter a trade today. Get some roid rage. You ever see guys with roid rage? They're like animals. It's always interesting to see at the gym the guys that are clearly on gear get into fights with each other. Because it's like, dude, why are you so emotional? I thought you were supposed to be manly. Why are you so sensitive? I heard that it's a whole different mindset when you're on gear, of things like triggering you and like you ready to like fight. I heard it's a whole different thing. One sec. One sec. My dog wants to get up. We're right there. I don't know if I'm happy that it's right there or not. I'm going to say I'm going to enter aggressive now. Sure. Call me impatient. So I entered my aggressive. What's this? Where are we at? Halfway. Okay. I just gave you a whole lecture. Just gave you a whole lecture of like waiting for it to hit, whatever. I'm like, I'm impatient. Forget it. Look, man, I'm not perfect. I'm at least honest with you. What I said is still valid. Still correct. But like, right there. I waited for it to like just kiss it. At least. I waited for a kiss. If you're waiting for direct aggressive, then now's your shot. Good for you. Good for you for waiting. Remember, we're looking for an in and out. There's a place nearby called In and Out Burrito. Is it a innuendo? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. But I don't want to find out. I got this free at an event. I'm drinking it like a juice box. I'm not one to buy this stuff. It says plant-based oat beverage version 1.0. Herbs and oats. Not something I'd buy. Tastes good though. You're up 10 pips. 10 pips or so. Don't be cashing out at 10 pips. That's up to you. That's up to you. It's up to you. Do things as you wish. I'm not giving you financial advice. If we can get back to here. I'll take that. That would be nice. 30 pips, though, would be... about here. Right? Am I right? Yeah. Approximately. I'm just going to delete some of this stuff so it doesn't get confusing. I don't like too many things on the screen. Of course, at the last minute is when the trade happens. So what the hell am I talking about? Last minute, 40 minutes later. It's just one of those days. Cruising down the block in my 6-4. Can't see the rest. I'll get canceled. If you're in the trade, let me know on Telegram. Or if you're on the obviously if you're here, you're listening. Or drop it on the live on YouTube. I don't know why some of you are so shy to talk on the live chat on YouTube. I don't know why some of you are so shy to talk on the live chat on YouTube or in our free chat. I don't understand. At some point, I'm just going to tell you I'm not responding at all, unless it's in the chat, in the free chat, on the live chat. $20 pips. Not giving you financial advice. If you want to secure 20 pips, it's up to you. I'm looking for at least 30. I'm looking for at least 30. Come on, daddy needs a new pair of shoes. All right, Bailey's in. When it comes to getting this far, this is why it's important to have an exit plan. One is an entry plan, entry strategy, and you also have to have an exit plan. When are you getting out? When it hits a certain price? I'm not talking about a certain profit. Don't be looking at your profits. You got to be looking at certain prices. Are you going to be cashing out a certain amount of pips? Whatever it is, you got to be ready to execute that. So I've accepted either a lot for me, either a loss or 30 pips. When it hits 30 pips, I'm looking to move my stop loss to 30 pips to secure 30 pips and see if it'll continue to go down. So when I say I'm looking for at least 30 pips, I'm looking for it to hit it, move my stop loss there automatically, secure it, and see if I can catch more. I am not going to close partials today. So right now we are right about there-ish. I just want to go to the gym. I'm like ready to let my impatience get the best of me. Mainly because we've been here for so long already. If this was like within the first hour, I'd be like, all right, cool. Like, let's write it out. but we're already almost into hour 3. So I'm like ready to let the impatience kick in and be like, I'm out of here. Screw it. I'll just take what's on the table and walk away. But these are the emotions. And you have to be trading like a robot. So I have to sit here and allow my plan to execute like a robot. Even if it ends up with 0. I have my stop loss secured. So right now, if it totally reverses, it's going to close me out at break even. So I'm either walking away with 0. So today now it's risk free. So there's no way today it's a losing day today. Okay? And if you lose today, that's on you. Unless that's your trading plan, but that's still on you. For me, it's either 0, 30, or more. 0, 30 pips or more. Capiche? Capiche, capiche? Capiche, capushka? Let's see what this looks like over here. Could we even get to down here? I mean, could probably make a stop here. For sure it's going to go, not for sure, but if it comes down, it's very likely going to hit yesterday's close price again, which is what I'd like to see. It could quickly push to this key target here. Oh no. Wrong one. Almost messed that up. So look, from where it's at, if you were a good boy or girl and you got in at the actual aggressive, you're up 30 pips. You decide. Close and walk away, close partials, move stop loss, and secure 20. So you walk away with at least something. You decide how you want to manage it. Either way, today is not a losing day, no matter what. I have now moved and secured at least 10 pips. I'm going to at least walk away with something now, since we're right here. For my psychology, I've decided, since yesterday was a loss, and today's Thursday, to at least have that psychology of today walked away with profits. So today's no loss. That's the title for today. No Loss Thursday. That's today's thumbnail. No Loss Thursday. Come on, daddy needs a new pair of shoes. That's where the gambling kicks in. We are technically alienized today. So it came down, it's back up, possibly retesting that trend line. So no matter what, in 9 minutes we close the live because we are walking away with profits no matter what, right? So even if the trade is still active, we're closing the live because no matter what happens, we're walking away with profits, right? Yes. And remember, it's a scalp. Like Dr. Xavier's scalp, smooth. So even if you collect 20 pips or 30, it's a good day. I went in wanting at least 30 pips. I have secured 10, but I would like 30. That's what I set out for myself. I don't know what you set out for yourself. Make sure that you manage it. If you want to cash out now, you can, and that's okay too. If you can't handle it, you can't handle the truth. Well, let's see what happens. I'm in. You're like the Matrix, Bailey. I'm in. We're in. The fourth Matrix movie sucked. Can't believe they're making a fifth. Ruined the entire franchise. Ruined the entire franchise. Two, 1, 20 seconds, and then last 5 minutes. It's literally down to the last candle. This is the last candle that we're doing. because we're on the 5-minute time frame. This is the last 5 minutes. We're in the finals. We're in the finals. Manage your trade. Do your thing. If you want to close out now, it's okay too, because it's yesterday's close price, so expect it to bounce up or secure it as it passes through. So 25.72, 20, however you want to do it. 25.72, secure your profits. We're up. We got 30 no matter what. Trailing through this bad boy. What do we got secured here? Got 37 secured. 37 secured. And closed out. Okay. I know. Look, down to the last wire. Got closed out. Damn. Phew. Let's see what happens with these last 2 minutes. I'm out of the trade. I'm out profits. 37 profits. 37 pip profit. So I was able to hit my target and a little bit more. Let me know. Are you still in? Did you cash out? What's crack-a-lackin'? The last 55 seconds. Little Miss Springfield, which one will it be? Look at that. Look at that. That became my stop loss, yesterday's close price. "19 seconds, 18, 17, 16, 15. Remember, I'm out already. 37 pips, good to go for the day. Redemption. I know it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but keeping that consistently is good. So, congratulations. If you followed along, let me know. Send me your results. Drop a like. I think that deserved a like. And if you're not subscribed, you better subscribe, because, like, you just made some money for free. Yeah. Yeah. Totally laggy as hell, but whatever. So look, thank you for sticking around for the 3 hours today. So we went extra, but it was worth it because we made profits together. If you're still in the trade, that's on you. That's still okay. If you're still in it, it's okay. Just make sure that you have a plan and you're not just like trying to go for the moon and then you get totally wrecked, right? If you're still in the trade, at least please secure something. Please secure at least 10 pips if you're still in it. And if you get closed out with 10 pips, accept it. Because you were getting greedy and you at least walked away with something. I told you play by play what I was doing. And this is me entering slightly earlier than some of you, because I saw that from your messages, some of you waited for the actual aggressive. Good on you. So if you entered at the aggressive, you made more than I did. Because if I was after 30 pips and you were after 30 pips, by the time I got to 30 pips, you were at like 45 pips. So cool. All right. So we all made money today. And if you're still in the trade, you have money secured today. So either way, we are all profitable today. Good to know. I will see you all in the chats. If you are not part of our chats, make sure you DM me the word YouTube on Instagram, because we're looking to help 25 people become profitable by 2025. So we only have a month, 45 days left, 46 days left in the year. I have 19 more to go to help. We don't take just anybody. We're not looking for charity cases. We're looking for serious people. So if that's you, DM me the word YouTube. We'll see if you qualify for our free chat. We also have paid membership and mentorship groups also. Other than that, we will be here tomorrow, same time, same channel, 9:15 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and drop a follow on Instagram, of course. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for being on the live, and for those that stuck around longer, thank you. I hope it was worth it. See you tomorrow.